I mean, people will break.
Okay. I know that Wanda's in the building. She may be on the phone or something with constituents, but I think we'll go ahead and get started. She'll be down here in a minute. We'll call this Brazos County Commissioners Workshop into session. It's May 20th, 9 a.m. The County Administration Building, 200 South Texas Avenue, Suite 106. First item is called to order, and the second is presentation discussion on community support contracts, request proposed budget FY 26-27. And first is the foundational public services, public safety, justice, and health. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Nina, and
I'll go for it. Good morning, Nina, Budget Officer, judges, commissioners, outside agencies, and members of the public. Before we begin today's presentation, I would like to briefly explain the purpose of this workshop and some of the updates made to the outside agency funding request process for FY 26-27 budget cycle. The purpose of today's workshop is to allow agencies requesting county funding the opportunity to present their services, explain how requested funds will be utilized, and discuss the impact the organization has on the citizens of Brazos County. This workshop also provides Commissioners Court and the public with additional transparency regarding the use of public funds and the partnerships Brazos County maintains throughout the community. This year, the Budget Office implemented several changes to improve consistency, accountability, and organization within the funding request process. One of the primary changes was the creation of funding categories to help identify the type of service each organization provides. Category 1 includes agencies that provide foundational or core public services closely tied to county operations, public safety, health services, and statutory responsibilities. In many cases, these are services the county would otherwise need to provide or support directly. Category 2 includes agencies that provide community support services, preventative programs, outreach efforts, or quality of life initiatives that benefit residents and may help reduce future demands on county resources. Category 3 includes strategic public partnerships. These organizations support broader county goals through collaboration, regional coordination, tourism, economic development, education, infrastructure support, or other strategic initiatives that benefit the county as a whole. These categories are not intended to rank agencies or diminish the value of any organization. Their purpose is simply to provide Commissioners Court with a more consistent framework for evaluating requests during this process. At the conclusion of today's presentations, Commissioners Court may ask follow-up questions, request additional information, or provide direction to staff as preparation of the 26-27 proposed budget continues. I'd like to thank you for your time, your participation. The first one up will be Aggie Lane Humane Society.
Roof.
Anyone from Aggie Lane Humane?
Okay, I guess I won't be first up.
okay, is there anybody from Aggieland Humane? Not yet, so you want to move on?
The next one will be Amber Alert Network of Brazos Valley.
Okay.
Good morning, judges and commissioners. My name is Dee Donovan Murph, and I am with the Amber Alert Network Brazos Valley, and we're here today to talk about our budget presentation. I thank you for this opportunity to do so. I do have some handouts. Would you like me to give those first? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. There you go, and the reports to go with them. That's funny. So as you're receiving those are just some of the brochures that we have in our annual report as well. Our mission, go ahead. Our mission statement, our why we exist, consists of 3 simple reasons: protecting the children, preparing responders, and educating our communities. Our vision statement is where we are going. Consists of providing for the mission of those who seek, to provide for the missing and those who seek them through effective notification, response, and family services. According to our prior funding, in fiscal year of 2020 and 2021 was 10,000. Fiscal year 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 was at 5,000. Fiscal year 26 to 27 was at 5,000. Overall, the agency budget has been able to increase to meet our organizational needs, growth, and without increased requests to local government entities. In September 2025, we were even able to add an additional one part-time employee. Our primary agency activities, support cases. Since October 1 of 2020, we have initiated 478 total support cases, and as of April 30th, 26, on behalf of local law enforcement and family members of the missing, the Brazos County agencies have accounted for 351 of those cases, about 74% of the cases since 2020, of that 478. Cases involving the missing children have accounted for 269 cases, about 80%, including 8 cases involving the issuance of regional or statewide Amber Alerts that were issued. Our training consists of a variety of ongoing trainings for Brazos Valley Child Abduction Response Team, also known as BVCART, to maintain readiness and Department of Justice certification. Other trainings that we have done include alerting resources, processes, tabletop, field exercises, and BVCART training to new members of the group. Since October 1, 2020, we've conducted over 72 different training classes impacting nearly 1,400 attendees. That's a lot of law enforcement and trainees. Public awareness. What have we done for public awareness? Our social media posts has reached over 6.1 million related to missing children and adults, as well as education and awareness as of March 31st, 2026. In all, we've distributed over 6,100 child ID kits, hosted informational tables at events like Every Victim, Every Time conference, First Fridays, health safety events or health safety expos, Halloween Town, and cultural market days. Some of the general remarks that regarding Amber Alert Network. Our Amber Alert Network, Brazos Valley, is the only missing person nonprofit organization in the Brazos Valley and serving local law enforcement and family members of the missing in all 7 counties. Our organization has existed since 2003, when it was formed as an overnight committee to review local Amber Alert activities. We received our recognition as a nonprofit organization by the state in 2009 as a 501c3 federal tax exempt status. Since moving to provide 24/7 support in missing person cases since 2020, we've worked to supplement the benefit of law enforcement efforts to quickly and safely locate and recover missing children and adults. The support consists of creating flyers through posting through social media platforms, physical distribution, partnerships with local media partners, and providing real-time information for missing children and adult updates to local law enforcement and agencies. Responder training and public awareness, we focus on providing training on best practices related to the response of the investigation of missing children and adults to local agencies free of charge. We also work to identify opportunities to educate the public about the scope of the related to missing children and adults in their communities. We've been very fortunate to receive funding through the Brazos County for the prior 6 fiscal years. But this application does not represent any increase in our funding request. We have been able to grow the organization and add our part-time employee and establish financial stability. Our goal is to continue to provide the same 24/7, 365 support for any missing child or adult incident throughout the Brazos Valley, providing a resource for local agencies and family members in the most critical cases. That is the summary from our, for what Amber Alert Network Brazos Valley. And you've been provided with the annual report, as well as just some of the flyers that we distribute. And did you have any questions? In the end, I think it's a great cause, and we're able to help many of people of the Brazos Valley. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aggieland Humane Society. Oh, yeah, sure.
I love that y'all are under construction, but
Me either.
man.
You should have brought a dog with you.
You know, I almost did, but I was worried that y'all would have then gotten too distracted. Good morning, everyone. For those I haven't met, I am Katrina Ross, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director for Aggieland Humane Society. This year, Aggieland Humane Society is asking for a nominal increase of 3.35%, bringing our request for funding for fiscal year 26-27 up to $270,000. As y'all know, Aggieland Humane Society is your local nonprofit animal shelter that contracts with Brazos County for animal servicing needs. So we are taking in every pet that comes in from Brazos County through the Sheriff's Department. And then beyond that, we continue to serve and support pet parents throughout the community through offering things like pet support, vaccination clinics, and free pet food on a monthly and on-demand basis through our pet food pantry. Aggieland Humane Society is committed to matching the care that is required for our pets and has a rather aggressive fundraising goal so that y'all can trust that it is not solely put on the county or the municipalities to foot the bill for animal sheltering in our community. And with that, I will say, do y'all have any questions for me or anything I can do to clarify? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Next time I'll bring a cat for you or a puppy.
Brazos County Health District.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I won't be that brief, but I'll keep it to 10 minutes. My name's Dr. Santos Navarrete Jr. I'm the Health Director at the Brazos County Health District. I want to thank you, Judge and Commissioners, for the opportunity to present our budget for the 26-27 budget year. Just kind of go over some increases that we've realized over the last 5 years. For the last 5 years, we've not asked for an increase from our local healthcare funding partners, which are the cities of Bryan, College Station, Brazos County. But over the last 5 years, cost of living allowances have increased our personnel costs by 24%, not to include inflation costs as well. It's really taken a hit on the health district there. This year, we at our last Board of Health meeting, we proposed to increase the local healthcare funding partners' contributions by $100,000, going from $478,029 to $578,029. This would mean that the total Brazos County budget would be $7,854,377. Now, what do these funds get us as far as Brazos County? We have 9 divisions at the Brazos County Health District. We have community health. Community health provides immunizations through our Texas Vaccine for Children program, also conducts the Adult Safety Net vaccine program. We also do TB prevention and elimination. TB still in our community. The state of Texas is number 2 in number of TB cases in the United States. We currently have 1 active TB case and are tracking 15 latent TB infection cases. We also conduct school and daycare audits, immunizations to make sure the schools and daycares are abiding to the immunization schedules. The next is the Continuity of Care Community Clinic, which we call the C4 Clinic. C4 Clinic has really been busy with conducting our HIV PrEP program that keeps individuals from contracting and becoming HIV positive. We also do an STI clinic that's pretty busy most of the time. We're seeing an increase in STIs in our community, specifically in syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia. We also do HIV testing and treatment, and we partner with Project Unity to do that program. We also conduct immigration physicals. There's only 2 immigration physicals facility in Brazos County, and we're one of them. We've seen a rise in immigration physicals that we've conducted over the last few years. We do sports and physicals as far as we're partnering with Bryan ISD to do sports physicals. We also do DOT physicals, Department of Transportation physicals. We do also have Women in Health program. We just also in the C4 clinic just started a breast and cervical cancer screening program that we were funded through Texas Health and Services Commission for $300,000 each year for the next 4 years. All these are supported by laboratory service, supports all our clinical services. The lab's pretty busy for us as well. Environmental health services, where we do restaurant inspections and septic system inspections. We have over 1,400 brick and Vendel mobile units in Brazos County that we inspect. Our septic system program has over 15,000 systems in Brazos County. We also do temporary events. We do food handlers training. We just instituted a swimming pool and spa inspection program with the city of College Station. We've got over 250 pools in College Station that we inspect. Part of our program also does West Nile surveillance through the environmental health area. We just started the program. We started in May and goes all the way through October. We're already trapping mosquitoes. We haven't gotten any positive pool samples yet. We also partner with the Brazos Valley and provide them traps, also collect out in the surrounding counties as well. Emergency preparedness, PHEP, that's pretty engaging. We've got our manager and assistant out in the community providing a whole bunch of education, both to adults, seniors, and children out in our community in our PHEP program. Epidemiology stays pretty busy with tracking disease in our community. There's over 80 identifiable conditions that we report to the state, so they stay pretty busy doing that. We also do flu surveillance, and we're still tracking that. Right now, we're tracking hantavirus and tracking Ebola. That's in the news lately. Our regional local support services, that's in charge of our community health assessment, the community health improvement plan. That's done through the Brazos Valley Health Coalition. Our community relations manager is very active in health promotions in our community. She is partnered with one of our community health workers to do community gardens out in the Bryan ISD, and we're hoping to get on College Station ISD as well. We also do diabetes, smoking cessation. We also stop the bleed training. We also have Zumba classes. Y'all are invited to come to Zumba classes. They're on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 o'clock over at the Brazos County Health District. A lot of these programs that we instituted within our community health services or C4 clinic was funded through Public Health Infrastructure Grant, and I'll call that the FIG grant. The FIG grant has allowed us to hire and support our infrastructure by providing a public health nurse, a licensed clinical social worker, a building coordinator, accreditation coordinator, as well as an epidemiologist. The FIG grant is scheduled to end November the 30th of 2027. It was a 5-year funding program that built that infrastructure for us. Once that program expires in November, we will actually utilize our FIG money by the end of September of 2027. So we've got 6 positions that are funded under the FIG grant that support all these services. And we will look at potentially having to cut staff and do reduction in force. The additional $100,000 we're asking from the city, from the cities in the county, will enable us to continue our services that we built up, specifically in our C4 clinic, behavioral health services that we're doing, being nimble in identifying and doing disease surveillance out in the community with additional epidemiologists, Our billing clerk has allowed us to actually bill private insurance. That's increased our revenue for the health district. Without the funding, then we would be losing a public health nurse, an epidemiologist, accreditation coordinator, a billing clerk, licensed clinical social worker, and a community relations manager that does health promotion. BHD, Brazos County Health District's in the process of revising its Brazos County Health District 2009 cooperative agreement, and we'll be bringing that. We have a Board of Health meeting tomorrow, and we'll be bringing that cooperative agreement to the board to look at making some revisions to the cooperative agreement. Part of the revisions we'll be looking at maybe adding additional full district members that could be part of the funding formula for the health district, in particular institutions of higher education. We've been talking to Texas A&M about them becoming a full district member in the future, and we'll continue to look at that. We're also looking at additional funding streams through grants that we'll apply for. We applied for a mobile health unit grant that would provide an additional $450,000 over the next 4 years to go out and do mobile clinics out in the community. We're going to also evaluate our current fee services for in year 2027 to see if we need to adjust our fee services, environmental health, or clinical services, and take a look at how we can bridge that gap if we lose that $650,000 funding from the FIG grant. I want to thank you, Judge and Commissioners, for allowing us to present our proposed budget for FY 26-27. And looking forward to Brazos County supporting Brazos County Health District in preventing disease, protecting life, and promoting well-being through gold standard public health services in our county. Do y'all have any questions for me?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Santos, do you work with Gentry Woodard? He's the county grant writer. We have him on contract to help with grants and find money, state and federal.
No, we don't, but we will. I mean, I knew that you were going to hire a grant writer. Didn't know he was on board. We've got some really good grant writers within our health district, but we could use an extra set of eyes and taking a look at what's out there that we could apply for.
Well, I would encourage you to. He's brought in over $3.5 million with the county in 3 years, and he's here. And the auditor's department could put you in touch with him, or I can. But just given the nature of your work and that you've expanded services with hiring these additional people, and of course, without the increase that you're requesting from the county, we lose those services. I think it'd be really apropos for you and Gentry to have a good talk.
We will, and we've done really well ourselves over the last 5 years. We brought in almost $8.5 million just with our own efforts within the health district.
Sure, sure. Yes, I'm just saying as an additional. Right.
Yeah, we will.
Right,
We will reach out. I'll reach out to him. Any other questions?
Santos,
Yes, sir.
you've done an amazing job of turning that health department around in the short number of years that you've been there. But you also have a $2 million surplus. So the county already pays the lion's share of expenses compared to the two cities. So it's hard for us to get excited about an additional $100,000 when you have a $2 million surplus. So just so you know.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And that's how we've been balancing our budget over the last 5 years. We've been haven't asked for an increases through using our funds out of the reserve fund balance to balance our budget. But we're going to be at a point in 27, 28 when there won't be any reserve fund balance to utilize.
Well, you know, we pay for all the expenses on that facility. We pay for the electricity and the water and everything else that goes into that. And the two cities don't share it all. So I hope in the next contract that you put together,
Yes.
that we have a contract that is equal between the two cities and the county.
When you look at our draft, I submitted that draft, it does have that language in there to where we put in some language about capital improvement projects being co-assured by the cities and the county.
Okay, good.
So we've added that in there.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions? Thank you. Appreciate it, Commissioners and the judge. Thank you.
Thank you for all you do, Santos.
Next up will be dispute resolution.
Good morning. Well, how are you doing?
Are you disputing something today?
She's resolving it.
This is the help.
Good morning. My name is Tori Ellis, and I'm the Executive Director of the Brazos Dispute Resolution Center. We are your local mediation, arbitration, and conflict resolution training center here in Brazos County. We do mainly mediations here, and for anyone not familiar with what mediation is, that's when two parties come in and we try with a neutral mediator to help them resolve their agreement instead of having to proceed through the court system. We also do arbitrations, which is where we just get to listen, and then we make a decision for you. People don't like that as much. We are here, we do serve, about 85% of our cases are in Brazos County. We serve the entire Brazos Valley, but because this question has been asked in the past, I looked up our statistics. Again, 85% are Brazos County cases. We do have 10% coming out of Grimes County, and we have 5% in the other surrounding counties that come in and use us. We are a low-cost or no-cost mediation center. What that means is that our cases, when someone pays for them, it's $175 a party. With private mediation, you're looking anywhere between $500 to $1,500 a party for that mediation. Now, we also, with the funding that we get and the grants that we get, are able to reduce a lot of our cases down to $0. I looked that number up for you. With 50% of our cases are absolutely free for the people that come in. And they fill out the same paperwork that you would at the court for indigency. Sorry, a little bit nervous this morning. But basically, if they don't have the income to support that, we're a service that they can come in and use for free. If you don't know, in Brazos County, for all of your family cases, there's a standing order that before you can get into the court system, you have to come and see us. So any of your divorces, any of your child custodies, everybody has to come in to us first and try and work out their own agreement. We actually have a 78% resolution rate for that. So that keeps those cases out of the courts or resolves them before they have to go to the courts. A couple years ago, we added a 4th district court here, so we're doing our best to try and keep those cases down. We are staffed by 3 staff, 1 part-time executive director and 2 full-time employees that work in the office, but all of our mediators are volunteers, so they don't get paid anything. Lately, there's been some new legislation that came out last year. I'm very excited about this, so I'm very sorry I talk fast when I get excited. Truancy has been a big issue in Texas, and so some truancy legislation came out last year where the schools are now going to have to provide a little bit more support to try and clear out these truancies, especially now that it's not a criminal offense, it's now a civil fine. Well, truancy mediation is a new field. I serve on the Texas Association of Mediators Board, executive for the whole state, and we are developing a truancy mediation to come and put into our schools to help those truancy officers have another resolution, and that will be offered in Brazos County free to all of the schools. We expect to have that launched by 2027 school year. It's a little too late for this year's school year because we're done, but by next year we'll have that option available for the schools to come in and for any of these truancy cases, again, so that they don't have to go into the court. It's a step before that to kind of get these resolved.
Tori, does Grimes County contribute any to?
Yes, I'm almost there. Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
So Grimes County contributes out of their ADR funds $1,000 a month. So we get $12,000 from them. And then, because of your questions last year, I reached out to Brian and I applied for funding through them. We were denied because we do not serve 50%, 51% of our people are not through Brian. So they said we're not eligible for money from them. I also reached out to College Station. We did not qualify for their facility grant. We got denied because our facility is in Bryan and not College Station, even though we serve.
That's terrible.
But we are trying to get on their outside list, so I am actively trying to get funding from both cities. At this point, I've been denied a little bit. We are asking for a $10,000 increase this year. We're at 50. We're asking to go to 60. All of that money just covers our facility rental. So hopefully I answered all the questions, but I'm happy to answer any more.
Was there an increase in the rent?
Yes. So we've been our funding has been stable for the last 2 years at the 50,000, but our rent has now exceeded that. We're going to be at 62. Unfortunately, our landlord does not feel that we provide a service enough to keep our rent stable.
You
But
should
yes.
resolve that.
You know what? You're right. We should resolve that.
It'll be a future court's decision, but if 70% of the cases are then not going into our court system, that saves the county tremendous funds. And I would wonder if there isn't a county-owned property or place that potentially could be explored for reduced rent or something for this organization in the future.
We have looked into that in the past, and there wasn't any availability, but we are more than open to that.
I'm saying we look into it.
No, yes, yes.
Yeah.
The problem is with mediation, for each mediation, I have to have at least 2 rooms. And so in our current facility, which I'd love for y'all to come and see, we have 11 offices. So having that same space somewhere else, we're just such a big place, it's been really hard. One of the things that we are also exploring with the court, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna keep this short, is settlement week, where we'll come into Brazos County for 2 weeks a year, and we'll do the mediations here at the courthouse, but then the space has also been an issue there because mediation is confidential and because both parties have to have the opportunity to speak alone with the mediator. You have to have that space where we can't do it in an open courtroom. So it becomes a little bit trickier.
Right, I understand.
But we're more than open to that. Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you
you so
guys. Have a
much.
great day.
You too.
Next up would be Brazos Valley Council of Governments.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. My name is Terry Cloud. I'm the Executive Director at Brazos Valley Council of Government, also known as BBCOG. Our mission here is to help people, and BBCOG does that through 16 different state and federal programs offered throughout the region. Those programs include WIC, Women, Infants, and Children, FSS, Family Self-Sufficiency, getting people in homes. We also have Section 8 and HUD housing. We oversee all of that. ADRC and AAA to help our seniors throughout the region. Meals on Wheels. We all know what they do. Workforce Solutions in helping put people back to work and then also helping them with childcare. What are their needs so that they can work? And childcare is certainly one of them. So we help with a lot of the daycares here. We also offer a lot of 911 and criminal justice training throughout the region. BBCOG, overseeing all these programs, allows us to eliminate some of the duplication across regions. And these programs that service across all of our counties, all 7 of our counties. Some of our programs like HIV services even reach farther than that. But it allows us not to duplicate the services. Or with some duplication, but BBCOG having a very specialty section in that. So as it relates to us helping people this year, our request is for, the first one is for Brazos Valley Council of Governments for $78,955, which is an increase of just over $3,000, and that's due to your population increase and CPI increase as well. So just a very moderate increase in membership dues for that. Any questions as it relates to Brazos Valley Council of Governments? I've got 2 other programs coming up after that.
So the sheet we have shows current for item A, 76,349, and requested is 79,049 for a difference of 2,700. Is that accurate?
That is correct, just under 3,000, yes.
Okay, just want to make sure I got the right numbers. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm curious why y'all do STD services when our county health department does that.
We actually don't do STD. Well, there are some services. We also partner with CASA, and I apologize, I've forgotten the name of the BB CASA and some of the others, to provide individuals that are in need of those services, housing, medical transportation, things along those lines.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's a little bit different in the services that we offer through that.
thank you.
Any other questions for that portion? Shall I just move straight on to the next
Sure,
one?
Terry,
All
yeah.
right, perfect. Let's make sure here. All right, our next one up is we actually have our BB WACS program, which is our Regional Public Safety Wireless Communication Program, and that is a network with multiple regions and also Texas A&M and some others a part of that. We actually do the wireless radio communications, your handheld pieces, as well as radio towers. This ensures our first responders are all connected and able to communicate across all of our first responders in the event that there was a need for it. We all hate when those things happen, but we want to be prepared. And by being prepared, making sure our first responders are up to date and that they can communicate across all services. Any questions on our BV-WAX program, radio communication?
The increase in funding was due to what?
Yes, sir. We did have an increase in funding in this area. We actually had only one individual employed in this area. We have grown significantly in the number of radio towers and in the handheld devices that we update regularly for all of our region. So we did add one staff individual. With that also came another vehicle. So we saw an increase based on that.
Thank you.
Remind me, with the new radio system, you have always also been able to synchronize where they're able to all communicate, because that was a problem that we know that happened in the tragedy
In Kerrville.
down the road, up the road.
Yeah.
In San
Kerrville?
Marcos area, yes.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So actually, Thomas, who is our manager over the BV-WAX program, was requested to go down to that area and put up a radio tower and then connected all their handhelds so first responders could communicate down there. He also was down and testified and talked about the need for communications and making sure the Brazos Valley never faces anything like that. So, any other questions on our BV-WAX program? All right, I'll go through one more then. We also have our county indigent health care program, and that is where we do the health care billing and administer all the health care claims for indigent county residents across 10 different counties. And we have 2 staff that do that, and they do an excellent job. They actually were just audited and got a 99% on their state audit. So I appreciate their hard work at that. There is no increased request in the number of dollars from last year for that program.
The $10 is a rounding issue in the system, so.
Okay, I was like, I didn't see it. Okay. Any questions on our county indigent billing program? All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All
Terry.
right, Terry, thank you.
Oh, we're not making decisions today. You're not voting. Next up will be MHMR. I'll take recommendations, of course.
All right, good morning, County Judge, Commissioners, and staff. My name is Bill Kelly. I'm the Executive Director of MHMR Authority of Brazos Valley, and with me today I have Robert Reed against the wall over there. He's our Director of Behavioral Health Operations. Want to thank you for your current and ongoing support. Brazos County has always been there for us. Our center, we're the local mental health authority for the Brazos Valley, and we're also the local intellectual and developmental disability authority. We started in March 1st, 1974, so we're over 52 years here serving the community. Who we serve are adults and children with serious and persistent mental illness, and then also those with IDD. When we talk about severe and persistent mental illness, we're talking about folks with bipolar, major depression, and schizophrenia. As of March of 2022, we became a CCBHC federal designation, which stands for Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinic on the mental health side. And what that provided was not only all the mental health services that we were already doing, but it brought primary care in, and it also brought in substance use disorder treatment. The other thing we've been doing over the years is back in May of 2024, we opened up a new crisis triage center over on College Avenue, and this was to help divert folks from emergency rooms and possibly the jails to take care of them over there. The other thing, we already had a forensic caseworker sitting in the Brazos County Jail for several years. And then as of October 1st of this year, we started providing all the behavioral health services within the county jail. So on our funding requests, we are asking for the same funding as we had in the past year. The needs of the community continue to outweigh our resources. And some of the statistics I wanted to share, especially with the Brazos County, because the jail is the main part of our contract with y'all, is in FY '25, so this is before we were doing all behavioral health needs, total duplicated jail services were 1,218. Total fiscal year to date 2026, and of course we still have a little over, almost half a year, we're up to 1,403, which was about a 38% increase on those we were serving in there. The average duplicated jail services for month was 101 in FY '25, and now this has jumped up to 165 per month. Total unique individuals served in jail was 406 in FY '25. And in FY '26, we are now up to 517, which was a 46% increase, or about 111 folks. The average unique individual served in jail per month was 33 in FY '25, and now that's up to 61 in FY '26. So the overall stats, so we do serve the whole Brazos Valley. Brazos Valley for us is Brazos County and the surrounding 6 counties. We served 3,781 folks in Brazos County that had mental health issues or IDD issues, which is about 56% of the entire population we serve. We serve about a little over 7,000 throughout the whole community. So if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to take them.
I don't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the work you do, especially in our jail. Thank you.
Sexual Assault Resource Center.
Good morning. I'll bring this down because I'm short. All right. Just have a little bit of a prepared statement, some facts for you. Good morning. My name is Alicia Rice. I am the Director of Advocacy at the Sexual Assault Resource Center, or SARC. SARC was founded in 1983 with the mission to end sexual violence in the Brazos Valley. That includes Brazos County and the surrounding 6 counties. To fulfill this mission, SARC offers free and confidential individual and group counseling and advocacy to survivors, as well as outreach and prevention education to the 7 counties of the Brazos Valley. In addition, SARC is a facilitator for the sexual assault response teams, or SARTs, in each of the 7 counties, including Brazos. We meet monthly for Brazos and go over probably about 35 active cases that are on that list at the moment, including the ones that are in our court system as well. SARTs are multidisciplinary teams consisting of representatives from local mental health organizations, law enforcement, the district attorney's office, forensic nursing staff, and SART. Sorry, excuse me, I got a little bit of cough going on. SARC is the only available resource serving survivors of sexual assault in this way in the Brazos Valley. In fact, we're one of only 9 standalone sexual assault resource centers in Texas itself. Last year alone, SARC provided 2,420 hours of individual counseling to over 170 Brazos County survivors. We do that for the duration of how we do not have a cap on sessions. We do that until they are ready to graduate from counseling. So you can imagine our wait list can vary at times. SARC volunteer and advocates served as accompaniments to over 60 survivors during their SANE exam, providing crisis intervention, emotional support, and information and resources to survivors during the most difficult moments of their lives. And this is where we go out to the hospital during those exams, oftentimes right after an event has occurred, providing those resources. SARC is also available to accompany clients to law enforcement interviews and court as well, providing support during the criminal justice process. And as you can imagine, that can be a very emotionally trying time. And so we like to be there every step of the way for them. SARC is an integral part of this community. It works to end sexual violence in the community by providing outreach and prevention education to the Brazos County. Excuse me. In 2025, our outreach team attended over 90 tabling events just in the Brazos County alone, offering information brochures on SARC services and other topics such as like the law enforcement process, SANE exams, different communities that might need assistance, and other topics important to survivors in the community. SARC Outreach also gave over 100 presentations on resources, sexual violence, and prevention education. The amount of presentations and community members served rose over 35% from the previous year. The SARC is a pivotal resource to our Brazos County residents. With the statistic that 1 in 4 women and 1 in 5 men have been victims of sexual violence, SARC's role in the community will continue to grow. As the community continues to grow, we only have 12 workers in our staff supporting the entirety of those 7 counties. So we are working our butts off. With your support, SARC can continue providing resources to survivors, empowering them to tell their stories, and supporting them on their healing journeys. Any questions?
God bless the work you do.
No, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
So, and I applaud y'all. Y'all having a skeet shoot
Yes.
tomorrow, Friday,
Friday, yes.
right? So try to raise some money, so.
Next up will be Scotty's house. Yeah, I'll pass it down. Thank you.
How you doing?
Morning.
Good morning, Judge Peters, Commissioners. I'm John Godfrey, lifelong resident here of Brazos County and a 15-year board member of Scotty's House. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak regarding the funding request for Scotty's House. Scotty's House is a nonprofit organization that works through Child Advocacy Center model, directly supports county responsibilities related to the investigation and prosecution of child abuse crimes. Through forensic interviews, case coordination, family advocacy, mental health services, court support, multidisciplinary team collaboration, Scotty's House serves as a critical partner to law enforcement, CPS, the district attorney's office throughout the investigative process. When I first joined the Scotty's House board in 2011, Scotty's House served about 290 victims, child victims, during that time, from a 7-county region that we support. Last year, we served just over 1,000 victims.
Goodness.
531 of those children came from Brazos County. That's a tremendous amount of growth. Thankfully, Scotty's House is here to assist with law enforcement to prosecute offenders and to help restore childhood shattered by abuse. As Brazos County has grown substantially over the years, so is the number of cases Scotty's House sees each year. And just like the Brazos County that's helped bring new business and facilitate that growth, our population has grown and our cases have grown right alongside that. Scotty's House currently receives 44% of its annual funding from CAC Texas, the Office of the Governor Criminal Justice Division, which is VOCA, and the Office of the Attorney General, Other Victims Assistance Grants, OVAG. The rest we raised locally through private donations and fundraising effort, and a very small percentage comes from government grants of the 7 counties that we represent. The economic benefit Brazos County receives from its collaboration with Scotty's House is enormous, in my opinion, I will tell you. The cost to serve a child from first contact, forensic interviews, tracking, in-house mental health counseling, that service costs about $2,000 per child. From the training we provide law enforcement to expert testimony we provide, the benefit is huge. Last year, we served 531 Brazos County children. We're asking for a $40,000 financial investment. That equates to only $75 per child, Brazos County child. Brazos County gains access to a comprehensive child abuse response system that includes forensic interviews, medical service counseling, family advocacy, MDT coordination, court support, and investigative collaboration. Scotty's House is not duplicating county services. We're extending and strengthening them. The partnership between Brazos County and Scotty's House allows children to receive coordinated, trauma-informed care while helping county agencies investigate cases more efficiently, prosecute more efficiently, and reduce long-term social and economic cost associated with child abuse. The question's not whether Brazos County can afford to support Scotty's House. The reality is that the long-term financial and human cost of child abuse is far greater when these services do not exist. Therefore, I'm asking you to please support Scotty's House by including us in your upcoming budget with a grant of $40,000. Thank you for listening, and thank you for everything you do for Brazos County.
Thank you, John.
Thank you so much.
John.
Any questions? I'm armed with a little bit of information. And I did type this myself.
Thank you for the service that you provide. That's a tough job.
It is.
I've had an opportunity to sit in and hear some of the things that you do, so thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
John. Thank you, John.
Voices for Children.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to come and speak with you this morning. Want to thank you for your support for Voices for Children and the work that we do serving children in Brazos County. I'm Amy Faulkner. I'm the Executive Director of Voices for Children. Voices for Children is the local CASA program, the court-appointed special advocates that serves in Brazos County. Our mission is simple but powerful: to equip trained volunteers to advocate for the best interest and well-being of children in the foster care system until they're placed in safe, permanent homes. Today, I'm respectfully requesting the approval of our $60,000 funding request to support CASA advocacy for children in Brazos County. At Voices for Children, we recruit, train, and support community volunteers who are appointed by judges to advocate for children who have experienced abuse or neglect. CASA volunteers walk alongside children throughout their time in foster care, ensure that their needs are seen, heard, and prioritized. This work is only possible because of the dedication of our staff and our volunteers. We currently have 13 full-time staff who work diligently to recruit, train, supervise, and support CASA volunteers who serve in 5 different counties. In 2025, Voices for Children served 266 children overall in our 5 counties. 207 of those came from Brazos County. Our volunteers donated over 5,600 hours advocating for children. 4,300 hours were spent on serving kids from Brazos County. They also drove over 47,000 miles throughout Texas, visiting children, attending meetings, seeing kids in schools and their placement, and maintaining consistent connections with the children they serve from Brazos County. But those numbers only tell part of the story. As our community moves into community-based care and foster care case management transitions to a private entity, the role that we serve as CASA doesn't change. Voices for Children will continue to provide high-quality, independent advocacy focused solely on the best interests of the children that we serve. In many ways, that advocacy is becoming even more important. While fewer children may be entering the foster care system overall, the children that we serve are experiencing deeper trauma, greater mental health needs, and increased family complexity situations. At this time, placement options are limited. Children are often placed further away from their home counties, sometimes being separated from their siblings and moving several times throughout their case. That instability can be difficult for children. Our CASA volunteers provide consistency in the midst of that uncertainty. CASA matters to children like Sydney and Maggie, who have been in CPS care for 4.5 years. During that time, they've had at least 9 different CPS caseworkers, but they've had one consistent CASA. Their CASA volunteer is Pam, and she's remained by their side, advocating for stability, permanency, and their best interests. CASA matters to youth like Kyle, who is graduating from high school this month because of his CASA volunteer, Jim, who consistently encouraged him, helped him stay connected, advocated for educational support, and reminded Kyle that his future is worth investing in. And then CASA matters to siblings like Jose, Nayeli, Myra, and Ethan, who have been placed far from home and separated not only from everything that's familiar to them, but from each other. So their CASA volunteers are Ann and Andy. They're a husband and wife team who work together. They travel to Austin, Houston, Bastrop, and Spring every month to visit those kids and to see them in their placements. They also attend monthly visits with the siblings so that those kids can have somebody who's consistently visiting them together. Every child deserves someone consistently advocating for their safety, well-being, and their future. Child abuse and neglect is an issue that's happening right here in Brazos County, and the need for advocacy remains significant. And so your investment, ensuring that the children of Brazos County have an advocate for them, it does not go unnoticed. So again, I thank you for your support and appreciate all you do for the families and children that we serve. If y'all have any questions, I'm happy to answer those questions.
Thanks for the great work you do.
Amen, Amy, thank you.
Thank you.
Didn't foster care one of yours?
This is where I'll ask the court if they'd like to take a 10-minute break, or would you like to continue to go on?
Health Department and 911.
Would you like to take a 10-minute break
Oh,
or continue to go on?
need to take a break?
Yeah.
10-minute break?
Yeah.
I'll ask for a recess until 10:10.
Okay.
I'm good? Or do I need to ask for a recess?
Yes.
let's just go ahead and start. Wanda will be down here in just a few minutes, but we'll go ahead and start back up.
Okay. Next up will be Junction 505.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Morning.
I'll pass them out for you. Thank you.
Good morning, Judge and members of the court. My name is John Glaze. I am Operations Manager for Junction 505. We are an organization that supports people with disabilities by finding employment for them and helping them maintain employment. That is the main mission of the organization. However, we've had a partnership with Brazos County since 1992, a partnership which we appreciate very much. And we manage and maintain 6 rural trash collection sites around the outskirts of town, out in the rural parts of the county. These sites are valuable for reducing waste, improper disposal, and illegal dumping, and it provides jobs for people with disabilities, which is part of our main mission. This year, we're asking for a 3% increase in our contract. It has been since 2022 since our last increase. This equates to basically a $98 per site per month increase. And this really just covers labor. We do give our employees a raise every year, regardless of what happens with this contract. So we always find ways to do that, but this increase helps us keep going with that. Yeah, and that comes down to $15.98 per man hour, and we provide them with benefits and paid days off for when the county has the days off. We coordinate disposal with Texas Commercial Waste and any repairs and maintenance that needs to be done on the building with Road and Bridge. And that's basically it. Does anybody have any questions for me?
So I think you guys do a good job, but I will tell you that I've had 3 times where constituents complained about the trash at the dump down in Milliken not being picked up. So if y'all could help get that, obviously you have to schedule it.
May I ask how recently this was?
I would say a month to 6 weeks ago was the last one that I recall.
Okay, Milliken. He's been doing a lot better. John is the guy that works down there at that site, and I'll have a talk with John and help him out.
Well, in the last year, I had a problem at Copperhead, but it was because the drivers weren't showing up.
Yes,
So
that was a big issue that day.
It wasn't your employee, it was the contractor that you, so.
Yeah, that was, yes.
Right.
And since then, I feel like, thanks to coordination with Road and Bridge and Texas Commercial Waste, I feel like that problem has been resolved as far as I know.
Yeah,
I haven't had any more complaints, but that was a bad day.
Right. And if, again, I want to, so the public understands, that wasn't Junction 505's error per se, it was a vendor, but at the same time, it'd be great to know if you had a second string, maybe quick response for when something like that does happen, whether that's with Texas Commercial Waste. Yeah.
That's me.
Well,
I am the quick responder.
And also making sure that we're aware. I mean, obviously, the person hauling away the trash is a vendor for Brazos County. If
Yes,
we're having
sir.
troubles with those
Right.
vendors, we want to know, and we want our Road and Bridge folks to know, so we're holding that vendor accountable, so you guys aren't being blamed, and we're not
Sir.
being blamed.
Exactly.
Yes, sir, yes. In fact, Road and Bridge, Karen at Road and Bridge, via another person's request, has asked that I start keeping the numbers on the sites as far as the attendance from week to week, and also gaps in between when the site attendants call in for a change out and when they eventually come. And so since I started recording that data, things have improved.
Well, John, we appreciate the work you do, though.
Of
That's
course,
great. And-
we appreciate
yeah.
our partnership with Brazos County. And Judge, thank you for your confidence in making the judgment calls when it comes to weather and stuff. I
Well, and of
appreciate
course,
it.
I know operating those trash dumps is just one of the many things y'all do that, to help folks here in this community, so Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. This is a valuable partnership we have with you guys, but yes, the main mission is finding people with disabilities employment and helping them maintain that employment. And with me here is our executive director, Jennifer Patridge. How many people do we place a year in community employment average? About 55 people every year.
That's great.
And that's an extensive process, but we work hard every day.
Thank you so much.
Any other
Thank you.
questions for me?
Thanks you, John and Jennifer. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good afternoon.
Okay,
too.
thank you.
Brazos Transit District.
Hi, good morning, Judge, Commissioners,
Joe.
staff.
Joe?
My name is Joe Marlowe. I am the Chief Administrative Officer for Brazos Transit District. Today, I have with me Tori Stout. She is our Financial Coordinator as well. BTD operates in 20 counties in Central and East Texas. Specifically for Brazos County, we offer a number of services, one being our fixed route service. We have 10 routes. They go up and down College Station and Bryan throughout the county. We run from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. And with our demand and response and our ADA paratransit service, that service is a call to schedule service. We operate everywhere within Brazos County, and we also operate within the Brazos Valley. So every day we bring people from outside of the counties into Brazos County for goods and services, medical appointments, work, just shopping and things like that. We provide a vital service for this community. And we also have a partnership. We have a subcontractor group that we have. It's with our 5310 grant program. And what that is it is specifically for people who are over the age of 65 or that have a disability. We have a lot of agencies within Brazos County that will say, hey, we have a transportation need. Junction 505 is one of those counties where they say, hey, we have a transportation need. It's a little bit outside of your service area or out of your service operation. Either it's on the weekends or a little bit later. But we have, BB still has a lot of vehicles. Junction 505, we have some retirement communities, but those are organizations that come to us and say, hey, how can we provide transportation to our constituents or our specific people within our organization? And a lot of times we are able to provide vehicles for them. They are responsible for the cost to run that operation, or it's to pay the driver or things like that. All of the maintenance on the vehicles. We do ask that they provide us with monthly performance reports. So we like to know how they're using it, how many people are using the service, how many hours, if they're paying a driver, the cost, any kind of maintenance fees or gas costs. We have to turn that into TxDOT and NTD as well. But with that, I will save it for any questions.
I'd asked last year if you all would add some covered areas for people when they're waiting for the bus to come pick them up. Do you know if any of those have been added?
There are a few within Bryan and College Station, but that's our next big project. We probably will have around, I think it's 300 bus stops. Not all of them will be shelters, but the ones that are going to be in the major pickup and drop-offs will have covered shelters and full amenities at those stops.
Because the location right here by the courthouse seems that when I'm coming in,
Yeah.
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
really busy, and I saw a lady literally coming over to the law office, getting under their
Yes, ma'am.
covered parking just to get out of the rain. So it would be, and I thought about the same thing.
Yes.
If we could, I know that, given the size of our community, there's some strategic locations where I've seen high number of people waiting in the mornings and in the afternoons.
Yes. We'll have some right-of-way issues with TxDOT, but we are working with them to figure that out.
Okay.
Joe? Oh,
Yes, sir.
sorry, Fred, go ahead.
And last year, they said part of the problem was getting help from either of the two cities. So if we can help in that vein, let us know.
Okay.
And we can call Bryan or College Station and try to help you.
Okay. We will do that.
Joe, I'd like to follow up with you afterwards too about getting our local Boy Scout involvement potentially. We have a lot of,
Your mic is too far back.
oh, my mic's not. How's that, Wanda? I'd like to talk with you or Wendy or whoever about getting our local potential Boy Scouts. Eagle projects are something that are pretty regulated, and a lot of the times the troops are maybe sponsored by a troop or a church or organization, they can't necessarily do their Eagle projects for the organization that sponsors them. It has to be an outside organization. But I think this would be a really good application. I'd like to learn what the requirements are, the stops, and see if we can get some of our Boy Scouts to target those as Eagle Scout projects.
Okay.
So,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you didn't ask for more funding, considering our discussion that y'all have some end-of-life buses.
Yes, so we did receive a grant, a discretionary grant. We partner with A&M and we ask for vehicles for us and for A&M. A lot of our vehicles will come from discretionary grants, so it's not going to come from our regular operating grants. We received one in FY23, and then we just received another one in FY25. So we will see some new vehicles come from that.
Brilliant.
But yeah.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Joe.
Our next grouping will be emergency response, 911 emergency. Thank you.
We'll pass it down.
Thank you, Patrick.
Good morning. I'll just hold mine up for the people at home.
Hold it up, yeah.
Can read it. See
Good
you,
morning, Judge Peters. Thanks for having me here. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Patrick Corley. I'm the Executive Director of the Brazos County Emergency Communications District. With me today is our Associate Director, Laura Blackburn, and also David DeBello, who is responsible for all of the technical aspects of the 911 system and our dispatch center.
Patrick, can
here
I
in
stop
Brazos
you
County.
real quick? I think I announced last time that Laura's husband was in a real bad motorcycle wreck in the hill country about 10 days ago. And
didn't know
you
that.
told me today that, that he's out of the hospital and he's, I guess, home.
He is at home for the
So,
first time by himself.
that's wonderful, so,
Praise God.
yes. Sorry, Patrick.
No problem. The Brazos County 911 District was formed in the late 80s to build and maintain the 911 system that we use within the political boundary of Brazos County. And in addition to that, for the last 38 years, the district has partnered with Brazos County and the city of Bryan to operate a combined public safety dispatch center on behalf of the 12 public safety agencies that fall under the umbrella of Brazos County and the city of Bryan. The funds being requested here today will pay for the county's portion of that combined emergency communications center in support of all of the law enforcement agencies at fire and EMS in the county. We are asking for a considerable increase this year. The total ask for the county's portion is just over $1.7 million. That's up almost 16% versus last year. And I'd like to go over the main reasons for that increase. We're proposing to add one additional staff member, and that person would be almost exclusively dedicated to working county fire radio position. We've seen a considerable increase in the amount of calls that go out to the county. I'm sure the guys coming up after me can attest to that. But last year we dispatched almost 5,800 calls of fire calls in the county. That's up about 22% versus the year 2022. So there's a considerable increase in the number of county fire calls. And then as the fire departments have brought on paid staff, there's also an increase in just the amount of radio traffic that we're dealing with. And so adding an additional staff member would allow us to dedicate more time where we have an exclusive position for the county fire radio and less time where they're sharing time with the constable radio position. So in addition to that, that extra person, we're also proposing some pay scale changes to our dispatch center. Our starting rate right now is $22 an hour for a trainee. We're proposing to move that to $22.50 per hour. And then we have a 10-year career ladder, and you can see that on the bottom of the handout that I gave you. Those positions, depending on where you land there in terms of experience, on average would see about a 2.9% increase on that pay scale. So key takeaway from our proposal in terms of the increase is that additional position and those pay scale adjustments. There's some other more minor issues that contribute to the increase as well. I do want to point out that about 95% of everything that we collect from the county goes to personnel costs, wages and benefits, and you can see that listed there on the pie chart on the left where it says how your money is spent. Another thing to point out is that the district doesn't make any money providing these services to the county and the city of Bryan. So everything that we provide is done at cost. I could go into a lot more detail here. This summary that you see in front of you is just the county's portion of a larger 40-page budget document that will be presented to our Board of Managers tomorrow for final approval. But I'll be happy to entertain any questions you guys may have at this point. Don't hear any. All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Patrick.
Appreciate it.
Next up will be the volunteer fire departments, precincts 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Y'all could start a band.
Well, they elected me to be the spokesman this morning. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Joe Don Warren, Brazos County Precinct 4 Volunteer Fire Department and Emergency Service District number 4. And up here along on the side, Chief David Cooper, South Brazos, Chief Trad Mills, District 2, Chief Matt Drennan, Precinct 3, and one of his officers, Haley Paulson. We're coming to you to ask this year for the $39,000 that y'all gave us last year. And I'll go ahead and read out my notes here, and feel free to stop me and ask any questions. So, Port has provided each volunteer fire department with these funds in the past, and it's greatly appreciated. These funds are used by our department to help pay annual insurance to our firefighters, training purchase, fire equipment, and new firefighters. And last year, the court gave us an increase of $10,000, which brought it $39,000, and we greatly appreciate that. So going over, there's been some increase in cost. Myself, our department, we have 16 volunteer firefighters, and we provide insurance to these volunteer firefighters, and there's the annual premiums for workers' comp, accident and sickness, group term life, and then that total combined is $18,000. So that leaves us with $20,000 to play with or to use. So as last year, recruiting and retention is getting harder to get volunteer firefighters. It's just the world we live in. It's not a local problem. It's not a state problem. It's national. And it's hard to get good people to come do this for free. It is. We do give them a gas stipend for all their training and throw in some other stuff to help recruit them. So you're looking, like I said, it's a national problem due to all the training mandates for a new firefighter. It's hard to get people to volunteer at the time when you tell them they have to be certified before they go on the call. By the time they get certified, they don't spend over 600 hours. I just had a TCFP inspection last week. I had to get a certificate to say that I know how to wash my bunker gear. So this new training that they're putting on all fire departments, it's free, it's online. But I'm going to tell her, hey, you got to sit here and watch this 3-hour video, and you're getting one credit hour, because she has to be certified how to take that gear apart, how to decon it at the scene, wash it at station, put it back together, and then you have to record all this because firefighter cancer is gotten out of hand. So we're trying to prevent it by washing. All that takes money. Once they're certified, they can start making calls. They can respond from home if they are available, or we let them come to the station, hang out at the station, and they sit out there, hang out, do training, wash their trucks, take care of their equipment. And then the continuing education, just like what I was mentioning, we provide training for our members by letting them attend the Takes Springs and summer schools. Depending on what class you take, that's an extra $700 to $1,000. Now we are lucky that we can turn in to the Texas Forest Service, send them that certificate, what we paid, they'll reimburse us for it, so we get some of that money back. And then once that person's certified, my department, we buy them a new set of bunker gear. That's $6,000. That was last year. This year, you're looking about $7,000 because as you all know, everything's going up. And then the biggest price increase that we have seen, there on number 5, last year we were paying $8,000 for a brand new handheld radio. Well, Motorola, they come out with these new radios. Y'all are aware of it. Y'all bought them for the SO. Yeah. And I got a quote the other day for 4 radios, $11,000 a piece.
And that's just a radio, not the.
Just a radio.
Right. That's not the subscription.
That's not the subscription. And we appreciate y'all taking care of that. So when you add all the numbers up and pay everything out of that $20,000, that's $19,000 to help train, certify firefighters, provide the necessary equipment to do their job. We got about $1,000 left out of that. So like I said, we're appreciative that everything's going up and we're trying to maintain. Do y'all have any questions?
Chief, I'm sorry they made you draw the short straw and do that presentation.
I don't mind.
You did a good job.
Yep.
You know, I talked before, just a while ago. How much is a new fire truck?
So a new fire truck. So I'm going to date myself. 1989, working at College Station Fire Department. I served on my first truck committee. And that was a Pierce. That was state of the art. That was a F-150 King, or a Ford F-350 King Ranch. That was $285,000. Today, or last week, I got approved to purchase a new fire engine. Not a state of the art, just a demo truck. And that is $960,000. That's just for the truck.
And then?
With that truck, to put air packs on it, fans, hose, nozzles, all this rescue equipment, that's about $125,000 extra.
And by the time your truck committee says, we need a truck, let's do it, pull the trigger, and you order the truck versus you have an equipped truck ready to go out on scene.
So if I ordered this top-of-the-line fire truck, and he can attest to it, Chief Drennan, you'll see it in about 2 years.
About 2 years.
Take 2.
2 years,
To
everybody.
build
2
a
years.
custom-built fire truck. That's with all the stuff that you spec out. Or what we have all learned to do, we found another manufacturer. It's help me out. Metro. Thank you. Getting old and losing my mind here, my memory. Metro Fire Apparatus, they contract with this Spartan Fire Engine Company, and they already got it ordered for next year. They got 30 trucks coming. They're gonna start building it, and it's just a custom spec truck. I mean, it's not spec, but it's got the hose reel in the back compartment. It's got a covered hose bed. They'll throw a monitor on there, and then they will strap that truck when it comes in. And that truck next year is gonna be over $1.1 million just for the engine. That's no equipment. And it's all because of the new federal regulations on the diesel engines, putting more requirements on there, which increases our budget because I have to have a mechanic that can work on and replace those EGR valves every year and a half. They go out. So yeah, everything's going up.
Go ahead, sir.
So you said something that caught my attention. I want to make sure I understand. So for a volunteer, someone shows up and says, I want to be a volunteer fireman. They have 600 hours of training before they're certified to actually be able to do anything for you?
Yes, sir.
600?
To make that firefighter certified.
2 years worth of training? Wow.
And they have to sit in front of a computer. We provide the classes, and that's what we found out. It's cheaper in our training software to let them sit there and train on that.
Sure.
They complete the college or the online class, then we take them out and we put them through hands-on drills. And then after they do all that and we sign off on their book, go to fire school, do the required fire training. Now they're certified. They take a state test, written test, and a skills test. And then before we release them, once they're certified, they gotta go through our process to get released. EMS, fire, wildland, stuff like that.
Be hard to keep a volunteer's momentum or during that
We're
2 year.
killing them
Yeah.
with all the state regulated mandates. But if I say, Mr. Nettles, come on out here and be a firefighter, and I'm gonna give you your radio and pager and gear, come respond when the tone goes off. I'm setting myself up for a lawsuit 'cause I hadn't trained you. It's not like the old days. I like the old days.
Well, my concern in talking with you too is that the 39,000 is not a change, but the need for change is there. And that I was one of five. I was thinking maybe more like a $10,000 or $15,000 increase
I agree.
to keep up with what you've got to do. And recruiting, I think, is up on the top five because
If we don't help people, we can't help people.
you can't have shrinking populations of volunteer firefighters and an increasing population in the county, and that's what we've got.
But
We
it
got a
said
big increase.
5,200 increase in calls this year?
I was just looking, listening to 911 over here about the increase in calls.
Dispatched 5,800 fire calls to the county last year, and that's up 22% versus 3 years ago.
Yeah, see,
Right here, he's the busiest. And he's running 100 calls a month, over 100.
Over 100 calls a month, and we're at 27% over last year.
Yeah.
At this time.
Yeah.
And we're sitting at over 1,200 calls right now this year, 4 months into the year, about 1,200 calls.
It's somewhere around.
Yeah, it's around there.
well, this is not the meeting where we debate the amount and whatnot. We listen to all the outside agencies coming in, but I think an increase is in order.
I agree.
And I'm hoping that could be more like a $15,000 increase and put y'all at 54 per. That's what my 2 cents. I think you could, that money is,
That'd be
it's
perfect.
already gone before we approve it, I think.
Right.
So,
Going once, going twice.
Right. Well, yeah, well, think about what you're talking about. Everything is growing. The cost of everything is going up. And so the need is great, and we need to be able to fund you in a way that you can serve. This is an essential service. This is just not something that, we shouldn't make sure that, we take care of you as best we can. Like everything is going up, we are also being somewhat restricted in what we can and cannot do. But this is something, when you talk about a matter of life and death.
And speaking of that, Ms. Jackson,
Watson.
Watson, I'm sorry. Speaking of that, during my TCFP inspection last week, we have a new mandate that's going into effect September 6th, where each one of our departments will have to have 2 annual inspections and gear cleaning. And we stand off for that because it's cheaper to do that in the long run. So we had to all get recertified, take another class, just so we could
So
wash it.
you won't have to be recertified.
We'll have to be recertified just to wash the gear, but we got by with 1 inspection. Now they're making us do 2. And last year I spent $3,000 in our department just doing 25 sets. So they're wanting us to buy a second set of bunker gear for each firefighter. That's coat and pants.
Got you.
Is there any grant funding available from the state to help accommodate this?
We're all applying for grants, and that's what we're sitting out there talking about, is about getting a person we know to help us write this grant to help replace some of the radios. Because we did a grant, AFG grant, what, 4 years ago?
Is it 2021?
2021. Those radios that we all bought at that time, well, Motorola, they're in this business to make money, so they changed the style of the radio and put a whole lot of new stuff on it. So that radio went from 8,000 to 11,000, and they're not going to support our radios. Probably within the next 3 years, they won't support those radios anymore.
Certainly appreciate the position in where the state's telling you to do something and giving you no money to do it. So,
And then College Station, their radios that they just had replaced, they're helping us out. They're giving us some of those old radios. So we're trying to use local resources and what's out there to help fund our department just to keep the ties over.
We have a county grant writer that you all ought to tie into
Okay.
He's,
Because he brought us, what, $3.5 million?
$3.5 million over the last 3 years, yeah.
All right.
Gentry Woodard.
Who?
Yeah,
Gentry Woodard.
Gently?
Gentry
Woodard.
Woodard. I can
Yeah,
give you
send
his
me the
info.
contact
Yeah.
information. I'd be glad to talk
But
to him.
he's contracted with the county. Y'all are an outside agency, but at the same time, you serve the county. So we'd have to talk with auditing to see if his contract covers outside agencies or not. But that said, even if it doesn't, I think it'd be worth y'all having a initial conversation to see if the
Yes.
precincts want to use them. I have a history. We used him at St. Joseph Hospital when I was there. He just knows how to ask the right questions. You know, that's what grant writing is. So.
Right.
And he was a lobbyist when I was in the legislature, and he got a lot of stuff done as a lobbyist.
Okay.
So he's good.
We'll use them and abuse them.
He doesn't know how much we're signing him up for abuse, but I'm gonna send you his info, Jodan, so.
All right.
Jody.
Thank y'all. We appreciate it.
No, and we
Thank
thank y'all.
Thanks for
Yeah.
your
What you
service.
We really appreciate,
Appreciate all y'all.
appreciate.
Other questions?
Nope.
Just keep your band together. Y'all practice up, okay?
Yep, yep.
4 years and one of them's gonna have to take it.
Thank you for all y'all do.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, see you, Matt, Trad.
You know I appreciate you.
Thanks,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Nice to meet you guys. How are you?
Thank you,
You're
guys.
very welcome.
Good to see y'all.
I'm always team y'all. Recognize the
Nice to meet you. Thanks for what you do.
Absolutely.
Okay. The next up will be the Historical Commission.
Hi, good morning,
Good morning.
Hi.
Judge, Commissioners. My name is Allison Kay. I'm with the Brazos County Historical Commission. I am not Henry Mayo. He would normally be doing these presentations for y'all. Just a real quick recap of the Brazos County Historical Commission's mission and what we work towards is we work cooperatively with the Texas Historical Commission, local governments, nonprofit organizations, and individual citizens to preserve Brazos County's rich heritage for the use, education, enjoyment, economic benefit of present and future generations. I'd also like to mention I'm also the Historic Preservation Officer for the City of Bryan. And so what the Historical Commission is here today to ask for is $10,000, which is $500 more than what we requested last year. That is due mainly to cover cost of the training, which is in part of our mission for our commissioners. I know that is done, typically Henry pays for that out of pocket, then gets reimbursed, but that's what most of it goes towards. We also provide other benefits to the county as far as, historical fairs for students, marker placements and that kind of thing. So I wanted to keep it short and sweet for y'all, but if you have any questions, I'd be able to hopefully answer those for you.
Thank you.
No, just think for all that y'all do also.
Yeah, thank you. And I know it's hard to follow up with Emergency Service District, but history is important too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
How long
So
is
that's-
Washington?
Yes, and Ms. Helen Washington with the County Historical Commission is here also, so.
So Nina, that's a $1,700 change, not
It's-
$500.
Correct, it's $1,700. They requested $9,500 last year, but received adopted amount of $8,300.
Sorry, yeah.
That's okay. I just wanted to
From
clarify
what we were
that I was looking at
requesting.
the right numbers. Yeah.
Yes, sir, thank you.
No, thank you, Allison.
And Miss Washington?
Yes, Miss Washington.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all so much. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Next will be the Greater Brazos Partnership.
Howdy, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Tom Johnson. I'm the CEO and President of the Greater Brazos Partnership. I've been on the job for about 5 months. I just want to say, Judge, thank you for your compassion and kindness, and to your staff as well. I'm originally from Wyoming. It's pretty dry up there, so as I've been trying to work through the humidity, you guys all been giving me some tips. So especially on my hair, I just can't get this.
You'll never get used to that.
I know.
I promise.
I'm figuring it out. My dog don't like to walk too far here either in the humidity. But We're requesting the same amount we did last year, Judge. I've been on the job about 5 months. We're, just to remind everybody, we're the Regional Economic Development Organization for a 5-county region. We're funded by sort of a 5-legged stool, if you will. We get $350,000 from the city of Bryan, $350 from College Station. We also get $350 from you all, thank you. And then we get $350 from Texas A&M. Combine that with our $350 that we raise in the private sector and some of the stuff we do with the other counties, that gives us about equal amounts from each of those groups. So that's how we're funded. What we really do is 5 different things. We try to bring new companies to the area. And recently, if you've read the news, we've been somewhat successful doing that. Happy to answer any questions you might have about the SpaceX project that we're doing over in Grimes with Judge Fouth over there. It's a pretty exciting project, so happy to answer any of that. We do existing business expansion as well. So if someone in the county needs some help in their business, just send them our way. We'll try to help them grow and expand if they're running into trouble too. We've done that recently as well. In fact, we spend most of our time doing that with existing business. Then we do talent development, not necessarily training, but workforce talent development, working with the school districts, community colleges, Texas A&M on workforce for the next 10 to 15 years as we continue to see workforce challenges with respect to AI and other things. So trying to work through that talent development. And then we do entrepreneurship as well, working mostly with Texas A&M and the local entrepreneurship ecosystem to help startups. We also fund the SBDC, so we do a lot of small business development through that. A lot of counseling, a lot of small Main Street businesses get help through that. So we do a lot of things, Judge and Commissioners, and that's how we're funded. And recently in the county specifically, I know Commissioner Watson, I think, was at this groundbreaking too. We were successful in helping US Modules, a solar panel manufacturing organization, expand by 250 jobs, another $10 million in CapEx. They're looking at doing a line 2 in the next 9 months, and then they're also looking at doing a big project down the road, all kind of in that county area. So we're excited about helping businesses in the county and in the 5-county region. So we've been pretty successful. Little quick bit about the SpaceX project. We're not quite over the finish line yet. We've been working for several months on that with Judge Fouth and Grimes County. They're negotiating incentives right now at the 381. We're competing against 2 other locations in the country for that. We think that'll support about 2,000 jobs. Average salary on those things will probably be somewhere between $86,000 and $150,000 for each of those jobs. So this is really good pay, Judge. And then we think it'll support about $1 billion in payroll in the 5-county region. The site that they're looking at, you probably read in the news, is not far from here. Even though it's in Grimes County, if we were to get in the car right now, we'd probably reach that site in about 20 to 25 minutes. So a lot of those jobs are going to be in the region. They're going to be coming from here. They're going to be living here and in the county as well. So we think a lot of that shopping will happen here as well. A lot of those benefits will spill over into Brazos County. So exciting project. Again, if you have any questions, happy to answer that, or Judge, any questions y'all might have about us and what we try to do for the region. So thank you.
Okay, since that SpaceX thing is a county, it's Grimes County specific, but it will have a Brazos Valley impact. Will there be, and again, maybe it's already happened, and since I'm not Grimes County, I wasn't aware. Will there be an opportunity, since you're hearing some resistance, for us to understand what that means? Because when I hear SpaceX, I'm thinking about rockets taking off, because I don't know what they're bringing to the Brazos Valley in terms of what the impact of that will be when you hear the naysayers.
Yes, ma'am. I think, and Judge, the naysayers, I think, have been, because of the nature of incentives, you can't talk about that. So I think the judge has been a little bit prevented about talking about some of the specifics. We can, though. I think there was some concerns from the residents, and rightly so. When something comes in and you're not sure about it and you hear about it on a public hearing, there was concerns about water and electricity. In other words, concerns about the aquifer and protecting water long term. I think there also were concerns about power. Would it increase power rates for residents? And the site they're looking at used to be a location of an old coal-fired power plant. So they've got a lot of infrastructure in there. As we've talked to the company, we've been in discussions with them and been told, and we believe this to be true, ma'am, that There will be no additional water usage as a result because they've got that water that's already there on that site. And they'll also be putting in their own natural gas facility, so that there'll be no increase in residential rates to the region as well. And I think a lot of the folks that maybe were concerned were thinking that it was a data center originally. When SpaceX first came to the region, they originally were looking for a data center. And by the way, I should say to y'all, we're not actively looking to recruit data centers to the region. I think that you can read the news and see how controversial they are. So that's not necessarily in our wheelhouse. We're looking for advanced manufacturing, life sciences, biotech, those kind of things. But anyway, back to the story, SpaceX was looking for a data center originally. And I think once they recognized this site had the capacity to do and be a manufacturing facility, the data center piece sort of went away. There's a small piece of the project. This is going to be one of the world's biggest buildings when it's said and done. In fact, it may end up being the world's biggest building when it's actually constructed in about a 5 to 7 year period. That won't have, it'll have a tiny data center piece, but it's less than 5% of the project, and it's going to be self-contained, and it's going to be specific to that site. So it's just like if you had servers here in the county building, and you would call that a data center. It's not a data center per se, or an enterprise data center. That would be a data center. It would be serving the needs of y'all, and that's kind of how that is going to be at this facility. But the words data center got out there because I think Judge Fouth, and because of the nature of the confidentiality agreements, people just hear something and they think data center, and that was just not true at the time. But you can understand how folks would be concerned.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you expect the ancillary or supportive businesses? I know looking at Samsung, they had like 30 or 40 additional businesses other than Samsung come into that area. What are we looking at for this area?
Yeah, Commissioner, Judge, yes, there'll be overall, when it's said and done, when all the phases are completed, we think the operations will support 2,000 jobs, just the operations, and about $1 billion in payroll in the region. And again, being 25 minutes away, there's going to be some benefits from that. You look at the construction jobs on top of that over a 4 to 7 year period, those are several more thousand jobs. So as that's getting constructed, the trades and all that stuff's going to be happening. So we think the total impact you can include construction and operations. We're probably talking 4 or 5, potentially 6,000 over that 7 years. We think there's a real likelihood that this will have bigger benefits than the Taylor Samsung project as well. So we think when it's said and done, there will be a lot of benefits. But overall, my guess would be we're talking construction and operations over a 7 year period, probably around that 5,000 range would be a conservative estimate.
For 5,000 new jobs?
Yes, correct, sir.
That's great. That's so good.
Thank you all. If you need anything, Judge has my number. Feel free to call me day or night. And if you've got a business that needs our help, I will get to them and try to help them. And God bless you all for what you do as well.
You should probably be asking for an increase, but.
We thought about it honestly, but we could use more funds just because we're a small staff of 5 and we're trying to do a lot. But we understand, there are a lot of needs in the county, and you've heard of some of them today, and we respect all those projects. So, we would love to see an increase, but of course we can live within our means too, and we'll keep working our butts off for you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, sir.
I do see one organization that is coming this afternoon. Since they're here, do y'all mind listening
No,
to them?
so they don't have to wait too long.
So they don't have to wait.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and see North Bryan Community Center. Go ahead and come up since you're already here.
You said North Bryan Community Center?
Yes, sir.
Number 27.
I'd like to say good morning to all,
Good morning.
and thank you all for this opportunity to speak to you today. Also, I have with me one of my board presidents, Helen Washington, with us today. My name is Maddie Carter. I am board president of the North Bryan Community Center, and I've been with the center forever.
Since Moby Dick was a minute.
Yes. The North Bryan Community Center building itself was established in 1990. The North Bryan Community Center provides a multi-purpose center that will help to effectively meet the community needs and interests. The center has been in operation for 36 years and is located at 705 North Houston Street. The program is organized to lead by a board of longtime community volunteers. All programming efforts are directly toward developing leadership abilities and building character. The center also provides after-school tutorials, computer classes, educational, cultural trips, and leadership program. The North Bryan Community Center also places emphasis on providing a positive structural environment for the children who attend the center. The center also relies on funding from private and public organizations and donors. Past and future funding is achieved through mentorship dues, various grant providers, fundraising event, and building renter. We are expecting at least 65 or 70 kids for our summer program. Our goal is to get students excited about learning, especially the STEM program. It provides a technical, engineering, and math that help them to explore the related career path possible for their future. During the 2025 and 26 school year, at least 50 students ages 14 were engaged in the planning staff with the STEM program, related hearing and activities at least twice a week. We implemented a fun and age approval curriculum that introduces STEM learning in the center after school program and during the school year. We partner with Texas A&M University to recruit students, workers with both knowledge and passion to help run the STEM program. We also partner with Sparks Pre-K through 12 Engineering Educational Outreach at Texas A&M Engineering School to offer opportunities to learn more about robotics and programming. We also partner with Aggie Engineering Student Group to provide weekly tutorials at the center. Our biggest sponsors were Big Brothers Big Sisters, and they provided mentorship to students to encourage learning and exportation. And they provided a lot of tutorials at the center during that time. Students will will continue to gain knowledge in coding, computing, and using robotic models. Youth will continue to pursue opportunities to advance their knowledge in STEM subjects in school and throughout the school programs. The center also evaluates success by tracking the academic scores of the students. Students have to submit their report card at the end of each grading period, and tutors are provided with additional individual support as needed. We also give them incentive by giving them cards that they can apply to buy food at Dairy Queen or McDonald's if their grades provides. Of the 50 students that we served, we anticipate that all will be introduced to STEM-related activities. The hope is that this exposure will ignite a spark of interest in some of the students and motivate them to learn more. When tutorials, mentors, and constant adult support, we anticipate that 95% of the students attending the program at the North Bryan Community Center will be promoted to the next grade level at the end of the school year.
You said 95%?
95%. We've had great success with these children.
That's tremendous.
We introduced a program called Read by 3, where they have to know how to read by the 3rd grade, and we have 95% procedures with that. 95% of them are reading, and we're looking to get to 100%. We also want to tell you about many of the other programs that we offer there for these children. Besides the Read by 3, the STEM program, which introduces the knowledge of learning about, let me get to it, learning about science, technology, computer classes, engineering, which is aerospace engineering, and math and applied mathematics. The STEM program, we're in our third year of the STEM program, and it is a great success because our children are learning how to program through 3D printers, and they're learning how to program and to build other items. The computers are blocked where they cannot build a gun because with the 3D printers, you could pretty much program it to do just about anything. But we make sure that the computers that they're on are limited to what they can program. So we're excited about that, and we've had much larger enrollment in our STEM program. We're expecting anywhere between 65 and 70 students this summer, and half of them will participate in the STEM program. They have to be at least age 8 in order to participate in the STEM program because of the equipment that's there. And so, are there any questions?
Thank you, Maddie, for all that y'all do.
Absolutely.
Great programs.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Washington? Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yes,
Come on up.
I'd like to take this time also
Pull the mic down, Ms. Washington.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Anyway, I'd like to just say that whatever investment we make in our young people today, it pays off down the road because they have a safe environment, they're well supervised, and if we don't pay for them there, we're gonna pay for them later, because if they go to juvenile, you're gonna pay twice as much. So whatever help we can give to our young people in our community to have them in a safe environment, all summer long, after school, they're in a learning environment, not running up and down the street doing things that some of the kids do, so that, other kids are doing. So please, I'm saying, just a plug in for our kids, whatever support we can get to help support our kids, all the neighborhood kids. We really would appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ms. Washington.
Spoken like a former educator.
I do have one quick question. How many kids do y'all service each year again?
Well, during the school year, we have an average of 35 to 40 every day, Monday through Friday. But our summer programs average around 65 or 70 students. And we employ 6 employees there because they have to be supervised. They have to be supervised. There's a must there. But
Y'all feed them also, right?
yes, we feed them a meal during the school year. After school, we feed them about 30 minutes after they get in the building because they're hungry. If they eat at 10:30 and 11 during the school, or about 4 o'clock, they're very hungry. So we do feed them a meal during the school time, and then in the summertime, we feed them twice. But BISD do offer a school program for the noon meal, and we give them breakfast, and then we give them an evening meal because we do not send any children home hungry. And our hours during the summer months is from 10 to 4, and during the school time is from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Maddie, do y'all get any help from the food bank, from the Brazos Food Bank?
No, sir.
You don't?
No, sir. We get a lot of volunteers to donate food items, but not from the food bank.
Is that an option? Have you thought about that?
Would have to be cooked though, right? Do y'all cook?
Yes, we have one employee that does the cooking. It's an option. We just haven't checked into it.
Well, they're up in just a little bit, so we'll just ask them. How's that?
Great.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was the last one for this morning. I will request,
What are they?
they've already held, at Scotty's house, they've already presented.
I'm sorry.
And so the rest of them will come after lunch, and so I asked for a recess till 1:30, if that's okay. Because no one else is here.
Yeah, they're not scheduled to be here till 1:30.
Till 1:30.
Makes sense.
We moved a little faster than what we thought.
All right. Well, we'll recess, I guess, until 1:30.
No.